Send us to New York!
I'm not surprised that Interrobang exists, that Interrobang has become really successful. And I've been teaching for more than 20 years and I've taught lots of students. I can tell who's going to be successful because they're smart, they have inherent talent, and they work hard. Many people have some part of that, but not all three of those things. All of you are smart, work hard, and are inherently talented.
Interrobang already has established itself as a really high quality young theater company in Baltimore. They just happened to be in the very first acting class I was in, the very first productions that I did, and perhaps you're fond of the first people that you meet in a special way, you form a special bond, and this group has just been a tremendously gratifying group of people to teach.
We're starting to get to know who we are more and more as a company and as theater makers and producers. We're ready to take on this new challenge.
Baltimore is a vital city in the arts, and we have something really interesting and unique to contribute. This is a way for us to give back to our community in sort of a way.
We are going up to New York to represent Baltimore theater. We're representing UMBC and the kind of work that gets done here and the kind of work that graduates are doing once they leave.
The trajectory to New York is just so fitting. It feels like we're on our way, and I think people should donate because I don't think we should slow down at all.
Going to Fringe is like taking this project to the next level, making it this Baltimore company, this Baltimore play, and these local people, and putting them on a much bigger international stage.
This town is kind of controlled by this foundational myth which says when the town's in trouble, we need to do this terrible ritual, and that will make everything all right. And they're utterly convinced that if they keep performing this every generation, that the town will be safe. But of course, the town is dying.
I leave Baltimore for a month and I come back and there's a new store. You know, it's like it's changing all the time. There's a new storefront, something. Nothing changes in Kerrmoor. They've resisted the modern world in a lot of ways.
Deeply afraid of anything from the outside, feels that it only thrives when it's completely focused in on itself.
So I wanted to write about those people, and I wanted to write a Greek tragedy that was sort of about those people. And in the American tradition, I wanted to set it in a family so that it was really a family drama.
Kerrmoor is the story of three women, Agatha, Kylie, and Lorna. So I play Lorna. It's her responsibility to perform the ritual and save the town, and she's very passionate. She feels very strongly about the ritual and about the religion that this town follows. She has a very difficult relationship with her mother. Play is interesting because it's the first time that they see each other after all of this time has gone by. So I think that's where all of the tension comes from, and that's why the play is really interesting to watch.
I play the part of Kylie. Her role within the ritual is the sayer. So she's the one who has the prophetic vision of Mona Kerr coming to her to tell her who is to be chosen for the ritual, and then she is also responsible for carrying out the steps of the ritual and making sure everything goes according to plan.
And so we're kind of meant to figure out in a kind of Stephen King or Twilight Zone or Sam Shepard kind of world, we're meant to kind of follow along trying to understand what the characters know, and as we catch up we realize how more and more horrible this event is going to be.
I'm really committed to writing plays where women are the protagonist and antagonist, and that was one of the ideas that I really harped on around Grrl Parts. Like, it really matters. If the woman is just the protagonist, oddly, if there's a man on that stage and he's the antagonist, the play becomes about him, because that's the narrative we're so used to hearing, is that that person, the man, is the everyman and the woman is a woman. And so the play, the narrative kind of becomes, oh, it's about the guy. I'm really committed to writing plays where women are the central characters and that they become universal.
We were always a little spoiled when we were in college. We were just surrounded by women in theater so much. I didn't even think that gender parity in theater was such a big issue. We grew up around this festival that's making new work for women all the time, for women and by women. I always thought Grrl Parts was like one of the most interesting things we did here. It was so cool to do something that was never done before.
Every member of the company was part of at least 1 year, if not more, of doing these short new plays. And so every one of these artists, as a student, learned how to work with a new play, work with new text, talk to the playwright, work together to create the thing that had never been done before.
This remounting of Kerrmoor, I've been thinking about it not as a remounting of the play, I've been thinking about it as a second production. I think it's going to be a really different production, and in a great way. It's really easy to give a new play a first life, but it's harder to give it a second life. Even if it's an amazing play, it's like you don't have all of the fun publicity and excitement surrounding it. I think it's really important that Kerrmoor gets that. Hopefully it gets another production until eventually, we're doing it on Broadway.